Hello everyone, my name is Fu Shui. I am from National Zhengzhou University in Taiwan. Today, I'm honored to present our study, the relationship between online social anxiety and internet addiction among Taiwanese adolescents, social comparison as a moderating mechanism. To start, consider this. In 1998, Google was a curiosity processing 10,000 search a day. Today, it handles over 8.5 billion. Even more striking is that in just 3 years, AI platforms like ChatGPT have reached 2.5 billion daily prompts. This scale is unprecedented, and it tells us something crucial. We aren't just searching for information anymore, we are outsourcing our thinking, our memories, and increasingly our self worth to digital agents. This cognitive outsourcing means that from modern teenagers, the way the brain handles information has fundamentally changed. We are seeing a shift from storing information internally to simply locating it externally. This creates what we call the digital brain, where the internet acts as a primary external memory system. However, this creates a dependency cycle. When memory is outsourced to the cloud, this connection feels like losing a part of one's own cognitive ability, which fuels FOMO and internet addiction. This cognitive outsourcing means the line between virtual and real life have blurred. When memory is stored in the cloud, being offline feels like losing a part of one's own brain, creating a deep vulnerability known as FOMO. In this always on environment, social media isn't just a tool, it's a space for social comparison. Teenagers constantly measure their lives against the polished highlight reel of others, which leads to self deprecation and trigger real world physiological and psychological stress. This fuels the cycle of internet addiction. We define our three core variables based on existing literature. FOMO is the anxiety that others might be having rewarding experiences from which one is absent. Online social comparison is the trend to compare one's own life with the polished life of others on social media. Finally, internet addiction is defined as excessive using leading an impairment in daily functioning. Our study asks, how do these factors converge to create dependency? Based on the literature we just discussed, we developed two primary hypotheses. Hypothesis 1 is that FOMO is positively correlated with internet addiction. Hypothesis 2 is the core of our research. We propose that online social comparison moderates the relationship between FOMO and internet addiction. In other words, we hypothesize that the impact of FOMO is significantly amplified when students frequently compare themselves to others online. To investigate this, we conducted a large-scale national survey using a dataset from the TESOL in I Generation project. Our participants included 9,009 seventh grade students from across Taiwan, consisting of 4,615 boys and 4,394 girls. We employed process Markov V4.2 to analyze the moderating role of social comparison, allowing us to understand how these variables interact with nationwide scale. As shown in Table 1, our correlation analysis reveals that FOMO, online social comparison, and internet addiction are all significantly and positively correlated with one another. Specifically, the strong correlation between FOMO and social comparison laid a solid foundation for our subsequent moderation analysis. Next, we will discuss the result of our main effect model. In the first stage of our analysis, we included both FOMO and online social comparison as independent variables in the model. As shown in Table 2, the overall model reached a high level of statistical significance with an F-value of 879.04. This model explains 27.5% of the total variance in internet addiction. In this model, FOMO was significantly and positively associated with internet addiction. With a B coefficient of 0.37, a standard error of zero point zero 0.01, a standardized beta of 0.39, a t-value of 26.45, and a p-value of less than 0.001. Similarly, online social comparison also show a significant positive correlation, with a B coefficient of 0.20, a standard error of zero point zero 0.01, a standardized beta of zero point 0.21, a t-value of 14.06, and a p-value of less than 0.001. These results clearly demonstrate that both FOMO and online social comparison are critical predictors of internet addiction among Taiwanese teenagers. This provides strong support for our first hypothesis and set the stage for our final moderation analysis. Moving on to the core of our research, the moderation analysis. As you can see in Table 2, the explanatory power of the model increased from 0.275 to 0.277, while the increment of delta R squared was 0.03. This improvement is statistically significant, with an F value of 18.3. Most importantly, their interaction term shows a significant positive predictive power for internet addiction with a coefficient of 0.06. This statistically confirmed the existence of an interaction effect between FOMO and online social comparison. We also perform rigorous diagnostic tests to ensure the integrity of our result. All tolerance values in Model 2 are greater than zero point 0.7, and all VIF values are below 1.5, within the maximum being 1.43 for FOMO. These figures indicate that there are no multicollinearity issues, and the linear dependence between our variables is fully acceptable. This confirms our second hypothesis. Social comparison doesn't just add to the risk. It interacts with social anxiety to amplify the tendency toward addiction. Based on the empirical result of this study, I propose the following two key findings. Finding 1, the moderating rule of social comparison. The result of this study confirmed that online social comparison plays a significant moderating role between fear of missing out and internet addiction. This suggests that the pathway to addiction is largely driven by persistent comparative behaviors within digital environments. Finding 2, direct and interaction effects. Direct and interaction effects means FOMO not only direct predicts addiction, but also interacts with online social comparison to exacerbate digital dependency. This illustrates a profound psychological intertwining between teenagers' digital reliance and the anxiety stemming from continuous peer evaluation. Finally, moving on to our practical recommendations, I propose a systemic intervention framework, starting with the school level, building a cognitive defense. Our core strategy is to implement integrated curricula that combine critical media literacy with self-worth education. The theoretical basis for this is rooted in my research findings. Online social comparison serves as the critical moderator that drives the path from FOMO to addiction. Therefore, schools should go beyond teaching basic digital skill. Instead, we must empower students to deconstruct digital illusions. The filtered and meticulous curated lifestyle that dominates social media platforms. The expected outcome is to enhance student cognitive discernment. By doing so, we can reduce their tendency toward dysfunctional social comparison, therefore, neutralizing the power of FOMO and weakening its influence on addictive behaviors. Moving to the family level, I propose that parents should undergo a paradigm shift, Transitioning to emotional navigators. Our core strategy is to train parents to prioritize emotional empathy over high pressure tactics, such as forced internet disconnection or confiscating devices. The theoretical basis for this is that teenagers' digital dependency is often rooted in the fundamental desire for social belonging. When a child experiences comparative anxiety due to Fomo, restrictive and high pressure measures often backfire. Instead of solving the problem, they intensify the child's psychological insecurity and anxiety. The expected outcome is to guide parents in becoming their child's emotional navigator by providing psychological support rather than mere repairment. Parents can help their children shift their focus away from virtual validation on social media and toward real life self affirmation. Finally, at the systemic level, I propose the development of a home school digital alliance. Our core strategy is to establish a collaborate platform where parents and educators can synchronize digital regulations and guidance strategies, ensuring a unified front in supporting students. The theoretical basis for this is to move away from fragmented interventions. By fostering this partnership, we can simultaneously build a cognitive defenses at school and an emotional defenses at home. The expected outcome is that the synergy between these two layers will create a powerful buffer effect. This systematic approach is essential to effectively serve the vicious cycle of FOMO, social comparison, and internet addiction, ultimately protecting the psychological well being of our teenagers. This systemic approach offers a potential pathway to empower the next generation, helping them navigate the digital world with wisdom and confidence. This concludes my presentation. My name is Fuan Shay. If you have any further questions, please feel free to email me or connect with me on LinkedIn. Thank you very much for your time and attention today.